there's a couple of ways that this could work out, the way I see it, and feel free to throw in your 2 cents here.
I have to be concise.
I told him he had to be a little bit more concise for editing. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gabriel Jaquier, the life coach behind the Jackfruit Life, and today I'm here to talk with you guys about following our dream and moving to France. And I've got a special guest for you all. Special guest star is my sexy French husband, Gabriel Jaquier, and we together are going to answer the most frequently asked questions we're getting about our move. So I just decided to bulk them into like general questions because I'm getting a lot of the same things. So we're just gonna go who, what, where, when, how. We'll start with the who. Who's moving?
Us.
Us two and our
Including
2
the
little
dog.
boys and our dog. What are we doing? We are moving to France. Where? Where in France?
We don't know. We have aspirations.
We have goals. We have preferred locations.
I mean, we like France in general. I don't want to go back to where I grew up. You know, I don't want to go back. I don't want to feel like I'm regressing in life. And so that's why I just want to explore new areas.
We both want something new. And Gabriel has been here in the US 17 years?
Yeah, I moved here first time in December 28th of 2004. So
there you have it. So he's been here for most of his adult life. So actually seeing and experiencing France as an adult is not something that he's really had the opportunity to do.
No.
So even though he was raised in France and lived there a large portion of his life, there's still a lot more for us to explore. So we're aiming generally for southern France, preferably around Aix-en-Provence, but it all just kind of remains to be seen. This is exciting because this is not something we had the answer to even a few days ago, but when are we moving?
now we've pulled the trigger on a transatlantic cruise from New York City to England, Southampton. And we got that, and it's basically almost impossible to get our money back if we cancel now. So if we change our plans, that will cost us, unfortunately. But that's why I was like, it's a little scary because we don't know if we're gonna be able to do it, but we should be able to. So that's why I was like, you just have to take some risks sometimes, and that's the risk we took. But we're excited, and that was like the only time that was available. Like if you miss that boat, it's not coming back for another 4 months.
There are not a lot of transatlantic cruises in January. Who knew?
But even after, I mean, this one is like special to me because it's a Queen Mary 2. I saw it when I was working during the Olympic Games in Greece in 2004. And also a lot of my family, a lot of my ancestors moved here throughout all the generations, and they always took a ship. Like I'm probably the first one in the family that
came on a plane.
Yeah, that came on the plane, emigrated on the plane, having this opportunity to cross the ocean like my ancestors used to. It's great. I mean, it's the opposite direction, but same idea. Instead
of pulling in and seeing the Statue of Liberty after they've crossed the ocean, we're gonna wave goodbye to it. Yes, so that's the when. Beginning of January, we are catching that cruise. So the how now, obviously we'll be taking the cruise across, but there are a couple of options for what is going to happen before that. So if you back up time with us, before we committed to moving, we had already actually booked a trip to France in November. And it's still a little up in the air if we are going to France next month. So there's a couple of ways that this could work out. Option 1 is we sell our house, but we stay here and we stay in our house in a lease back until the cruise, basically. Option 2A is that we sell the house before we're supposed to go on to France in November. We go to France in November, we come back, we stay in Airbnbs. Option 2B is that we sell the house before we're supposed to go in November, but we choose not to go to France and still just stay like in Airbnbs before then. So we're not exactly sure how long we'll be living in this house at this point, but we do know that we will be going to France definitely in January, possibly before then for a visit, but we just kind of have to see how things are gonna pan out with the market. More hows, this is where we had like the most questions. For how long are we moving to France?
Oh.
We have different answers potentially to this one.
Well, my answer is like, we are definitely coming back.
Yeah, and mine is, we'll see if we come back. We might just want to stay forever.
Yes, I've lived in France enough to know that I don't want to live there forever. But that, again, I'm open to if things change, like, why not? The answer is indefinitely.
So, definitely, indefinitely. Okay, another how, and this is one of the biggest question marks. What are we gonna do for work, Gabriel?
Oh.
Next question.
Yeah. A lot of elements contributed to that decision. And in my mind, one of the most significant ones was when we realized that if we, when we sell a house.
It is definitely one of the biggest question marks. And I know for some people that kind of question would be so scary, like, how are you going to provide for your family? But like Gabriel said, we're throwing our backpack over the wall and we're having faith in ourselves that we can figure it out.
Yep.
So I did talk about that also last week a little bit in my episode on change. We talked about giving yourself a safety net. So go check that out. I'll link the video. Okay, another how is Sweet Lucy Girl. Our dog Lucy is technically a guardianship dog. And she's supposed to have 3 litters of puppies, but she just had her second, and her first 2 litters have been a little like rough. Like she's lost a puppy each time. This time it was only 2 puppies in the litter, so she only has 1. So we haven't confirmed anything with the breeders, and obviously we are going to honor their contract as they would ask us to. But they have suggested to us that they might not breed her a 3rd time, in which case she would officially be ours and we would be cleared to take her with us now. If we can't take her with us now, we have had a couple of people say that they would be happy to help kind of bridge that time. And then as far as getting Lucy there.
Well, we, 2 options, like by air or by sea. And luckily, the cruise we're gonna be on is the only cruise that will allow pets.
Literally the only cruise line. Not only is it the only transatlantic cruise at that time, but it's the only cruise line that even allows you to bring your pets.
But it might not be the best because she gets anxious, easily.
The girl's stressy, for sure.
And so maybe flying might be the better way, and even if it takes like one of us to go back and forth just to bring her there,
we'll just have to kind of see how things work out with Lucy. But what we can say is for sure at one point or another, somehow we will reconnect with her. She's a part of our family.
Of course.
Okay, so the next question is a little bit more open-ended, but like, how are we doing? Like, how are we feeling about all of this? Because it's a lot to kind of take on. We've been talking about the logistics of it, but kind of what's the emotional fallout from all of this? I'll start, we talked earlier in this video about like waving goodbye to the Statue of Liberty, and I was watching a YouTube video of people going on the cruise to get a better sense of what to expect from the ship. And they did show people like waving at the Statue of Liberty. And I got a little like misty-eyed because I have lived out of the country before, but not indefinitely. It's really saying goodbye to America, and part of it for me is really trying to immerse myself in the French language and the French culture. I know that's going to change me. So it's not just saying goodbye to like America and my home country, it's saying goodbye to the version of me that's shaped by these things, and making space for new customs and cultures and traditions into my life, and to reshape me into a different person. I think that's one thing about change that people struggle with. It's like two things can be true. You can be excited and sad. And so I think going into this, there's been a lot of excitement for me. But when I start visioning forward, I think there's more sadness just to really think about everything that we're saying goodbye to.
For me, it's definitely saying goodbye to a lot of things, and but especially the comfort, because we've designed a very comfortable life for us, and in a sense that we have a wonderful home, and everything is just like friends and, like you said, customs and things that you know.
You build a whole life in a place, you know? It's
Yeah.
not just saying goodbye to the house that we've put blood, sweat, and tears and love into. It's not just saying goodbye to the friends. It's the routines, it's the predictability,
Yeah.
the comfort, you know, all of those things that go into making your everyday, your personal everyday predictability routine, and just shaking all that off and walking into the unknown.
And it's not easy, but I try not to think about it, because it's scary,
Yeah.
you know, to be honest. But I like the quote that says, like, ships are safe in the harbor, but they're not. That's not what they're, you know, built for. Mm-hmm. How we're feeling is at peace, and at least I have to be focusing on the excitement and all the things that we're gonna get out of it, because we're gonna say goodbye to a lot of things, and if I focus on that, it really makes it too hard. And so like I'm just solely focused on the opportunities and
keeping the positive momentum. Okay, I think that's just about it. There's one more question that I get from almost every single person that I talk to.
Okay.
Are you ready to answer it? Everyone wants to know, can they come visit?
Oh. This is public on YouTube, so not everyone.
Not everyone. Friends and family?
Friends and family, anytime.
We would love to have you. We are hoping to have a place that's large enough to host, close enough to big enough cities that you guys would naturally be visiting when you're in France, that we'd love for you to see everyone. But if you're just some stranger watching this on the internet, please don't show up at our house.
But I have a brother who has an Airbnb, so.
It's true, he does. We probably shouldn't advertise that. I'm gonna blow up one day on YouTube, and they're gonna like try to figure out where it is and do some cyber stalking. Just kidding. My 20 followers would never do that. Anyway, guys, this was really long, us just sitting here talking, although it felt kind of nice just to talk through it all.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we just laid it all out for each other, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've made it through this video. I'll definitely be cutting out some of it, but thank you so much for getting back to us with your questions. Thank you for taking the time to watch. If you have any other questions that we missed, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I'll jump down there and answer them. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. That helps me out a ton, as I'm just starting out on this channel. And until next time, just remember, do you remember what my line is? My closing line? You said you liked it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Everyone needs a reminder. If you want to live an extraordinary life, you've got to put in the extra effort.
Gotcha.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.